Hello, everyone. We have a serious problem. A very, very serious problem. Everyone should watch this video. All three of you. Since YouTube has shut me down 3 times over lies and defamed me. So since there's only 3 of you left, all 3 of you really need to pay attention to this, what I'm about to say. The Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden remasters. I noticed this years ago when they were first done, but I never really talked about it. And this isn't an insult, what I'm about to say, to Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana. They did their music. It was great. It sounded great in the 90s. The mixes were flawless on all of them. And all 3 bands, their main album, let's just take their main album, 10, Nevermind, Bad Motorfinger, their first big album, that were damn near perfect, all 3 of them in my opinion, if not perfect. And the mix was heavy. It was hardcore. Here's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I always give reasons, or I try to give reasons. Because I hate to get on camera and just say, I like tacos. You guys like tacos? Yeah, I'm not about that. I'm about explaining why I think things. Because most human beings base their opinions on nothing. How they feel in the moment. That's it. Not reality. Here's reality. Listen to a lot of music in my day. Mixed music, done all kind of things. The reality of all 3 of those remasters is this. The vocals seem to be pushed more out front, separate from the music, and the music seems to be toned back a little bit. And so one of the things they did that I really don't like, whoever remastered these, one of the things I really don't like is the distortion. Rock music, there's a thing called a distortion pedal that causes a distorted sound, a heavy sound, a fuzzy sound. Now, the distortion on all 3 albums has this more fuzzy quality now, less professional sounding quality. The bass may got upped a little bit, I'm not even sure, on all 3 of those remixes. And the vocals are not sunken into the music like they were before. They're more out front, and they sound separate now. That's one thing in recording I've always hated. In almost every instance where a vocal sounds very separate from the music, it just doesn't come off powerful and good. There are some exceptions, very few exceptions. So this is the overall result, in my opinion, based on what I've done and what I know and what I've listened to over 50 fucking years. The music is less powerful now. The vocals sound separate, not sunken in a little bit. It takes power away from the music, takes power away from the vocal. I guess my main point is, I have to go back and find the old albums on whatever website I'm looking for them on. I can't even listen to the remasters. That's how bad they are, in my opinion. Now, everyone, when they're mixing music, has a different ear and desire and what they think sounds good. So there's that. I'm not even insulting the guy that remastered, or because I assume it was the same guy because they all sound the same. I don't know. I didn't look up the person. I don't know who did it. I don't know who's responsible. I'm not insulting them. They wanted that sound, obviously, in the mix. When they did it, okay, whatever. That's their preference. That's what they think sounds good. Okay, I'm not insulting the person. I'm just saying The end result, in my opinion, is a less professional sound. It fuzzes out the distortion a little bit. The hardcore music, the heaviness of the music that I loved is pushed back a little bit. That takes the overall heaviness of the song away for me. And then the vocal is more separate and more out front, not sunken in. All of this results, in my opinion, of less powerful, less heavy, less edgy music. The old recordings are perfect. They were done in the early 90s. We kind of got past the point of no bass. You know what I mean? The 80s pretty much wasn't about bass until rap happened. And even then, the bass was kind of weak from the industry. That's one of the reasons I think they remaster a lot of these albums that were made in the early 90s. Because they feel the bass isn't strong enough. I don't know, it's just a guess of mine. That's one thing probably. Or it doesn't sound modern enough, the whole recording. But I disagree with that philosophy. Once we got to the early 90s, even rock bands were stepping up the bass. Tool especially. Some songs Tool I listen to by Perfect Circle or Tool, they damn near blow out the bass in the car. That's how high they went with the bass. But here, I guess, is what it all boils down to for me personally. Maybe you don't agree. Maybe you don't even hear a difference. Whatever. Maybe you like the remasters. Whatever. I ain't mad at you. I'm not trying to insult you here. Just giving my opinion on it. Because I have to spend my time. How dare you? Remix guy. Remaster guy. I have to spend my time now. We all have to spend our time searching for the old albums that don't have the remastered recordings. That's what I gotta do. Because I can't listen to remasters. They're not good, in my opinion. They should have went a different direction with it. Are all remasters terrible? Of course not. I did how many videos about the Black Sabbath remasters, especially as album 4 and 6, something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers. The person that remastered those is a genius, in my opinion. And the songs sound even better than the originals. That's rare. And that's a hell of an achievement for the man or the team of people that remastered all the Black Sabbath albums. Brilliant fucking work. And they didn't do what whoever did to the Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana remasters. I heard the Stone Temple Pilots remasters. They sound good. They sound okay. I don't feel like I'm listening to a different song. But again, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden, the remasters just don't sound good. They take a lot of power away from the music, take power away from the vocal. Let's take the song State of Love and Trust by Pearl Jam for a moment. I accidentally put on the remaster, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months ago, something. I remember going through this. And I'm like, something's off here. It just doesn't have that edge and that heavy that those guys did back then. Eddie and the band. Something was missing. It didn't feel right. It didn't sound right. I'm like, what? Oh, it's the remaster. I gotta go back and listen to the original, where the vocals sunken in more. And is more with the music, not over the music or in front of the music. State of Love and Trust specifically. Listen to that remaster and then go back and listen to the old one. And when you listen to the old one, you'll be like, ah, that's right. That's bassy, that's heavy, that's edgy. Everything sounds even. No vocal over here. And the music back down here, or back here. The vocal out in front. No. It's not what it sounds like. Listen to the new State of Love and Trust, the remaster, and then listen to the old State of Love and Trust. Go listen to some Nirvana remasters, and then listen to old Nirvana. Go listen to some Soundgarden remasters, and then listen to old Soundgarden. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see how the vocals out more in front. You hear that little fuzzy quality that resulted from the remaster on the distortion on the guitars. You'll hear it less edgy. You'll hear it rock less. You'll notice what I'm saying, I think. Because it's in 2 seconds when I hear these remasters, I can tell something's off, something's different, doesn't have the power, doesn't have the edge, doesn't have the balance, where the vocal's sunken in right to the right point, to where it's not too low, not too high, doesn't stand too much out front of the music. Check it out for yourself, and I would start with, if you want to see what I'm talking about, start with State of Love and Trust by Pearl Jam. And again, this isn't an insult. This isn't an insult to anyone. The person that remastered them, the bands, no one. That's not my intention here. My intention is just to say, based on my experience and what I know about music and what I've recorded and all that, the remasters don't sound good. And again, the person that remastered them, that person, in his opinion, I'm sure, thinks they sound good because to his ear, what he likes, what he was trying to do, that's what he did. So to him, they might sound great. So I'm not insulting the person. I just have a different ear, I guess, or a different preference. That's all. I'm not trying to insult anyone in this process. I know remastering an album from 30 years ago ain't the easiest thing to do. And what decisions, what path, what course to go with it. Because there's a million paths. When you're remastering, adjusting music, it's endless. You could stay there for infinity and turn knobs and change things. And you change any one thing on a song, it changes everything. Believe me, I've spent days mixing things and still couldn't get it right because I'm a novice at mixing. It's so difficult with modern music. There's so many paths you could take. Maybe the background vocal needs to go up a little bit. You turn it, oh wow, the whole song sounds different now. You turn the bass up a little bit. Oh wow, everything's drowned out now. Turn the guitars up a little bit, the high end a little bit. Oh shit, now it sounds too trebly and fucked up. Now I gotta turn the bass up. It's endless. Endless. It's such a frustrating process if you're doing it all yourself and you don't have, 30 years experience doing it. When you don't know what industry standards are, etc. Now, even when you have a team of people mixing something for a band or remastering, now you're going to have the band members come in and the record company and everybody else who has a stake in this album, in these sounds. And they're going to come in, they're going to give their opinion. Oh, that don't sound, I'm afraid we're not going to make money with the way you mix this here. You need to do that. We don't like that. We don't like that. Then the band comes in, the bass player hears his shit got turned down. Hey, wait a minute. I don't like that. Now I can't hear my bass lines in songs no more. I can't hear my vocal anymore. Or I can't hear my cymbals no more if you're a drummer. Whatever. Those fights are going on as well, I'm sure. Not I'm sure, I know those fights go on. Of course they do. Everyone wants to be the front and center star of the recording, of course. Everyone wants that. The bass player, the guitar player, the drummer, the singer. Everybody wants that. No one wants to get left out in the mix and not be heard. Of course they don't. So you have that whole process as well. But let me end it here. What I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to insult anyone's technical ability, blah, 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 blah. I'm not an engineer. I can't even mix as good as the person that remastered these. I'm a novice at it. I admit that wholeheartedly. All I'm saying is the path that person chose, or multiple people, whoever's responsible, I think, you chose the wrong path. The music has lost power. The vocals aren't as sunken in. There's a fuzzy quality to the distortion. The old recordings sound much better. They were perfect. I don't think they ever needed adjustment, personally. Black Sabbath, that's an earlier era of music when we didn't have technology that we had in the early 90s. Totally different era. So those were necessary remasters, in my opinion. Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana, no. They were made late enough in the game, in my opinion, to where the bass was good and they sound modern enough, even to this day, in my opinion. If you have any kind of decent stereo system, even a cheap stereo system, and you turn the bass up a little bit where you like it at, those early recordings from the early 90s will sound nice and bassy. They'll sound beautiful. I've listened to them many times. I listen to them every day in my car. I didn't need them remastered, is what I'm saying. They weren't that old, in my opinion, where it was necessary to remaster them. That's my personal opinion. So one more time, and I'll end it, I promise. The overall result is the music's less powerful and edgy, and it doesn't even sound as good as the original. That's a serious problem for me and for all of us. Now we have to go dig up the old recordings, which I've already done, because I can't listen to the new ones. They've done an injustice. I know they didn't intend to. That's not what I'm saying. And again, I'm not insulting the person behind this. I'm just saying I think there was a mistaken decision made. And maybe they need to redo it again. I don't know. Or just leave it the way it is, and I'll just keep listening to the old recordings, because those old recordings are perfect. I'm still impressed by them to this day. Every aspect, the bassiness, everything. Whoever mixed those back in the day, perfect job on all three bands, Soundgarden, Nirvana, and Pearl Jam. Perfect job. They didn't need to be touched. And it's a real serious problem. We must rectify this somehow. Right now, all we have is go back to the old recordings. I'm satisfied with that, but seriously, this is an injustice that's been done. And it really needs to be rectified. And I ain't mad at nobody. But it's a very serious issue that the whole country should get involved in. Just my opinion. Have a good day.